Afrikaners. Who and what are the Afrikaners? I speak English for one simple reason. I can reach a wider audience without having to translate. If I only spoke in Afrikaans, I would find a very small audience. Who are the Afrikaners? Herman Gillamy, in his book African Mavericks, writes extensively about the Afrikaners. And what it boils down to is the Afrikaners never came to fruition. For the simple reason that P.W. Botha died due to poisoning, allegedly, before he could establish Afrikaners as a pressure group, as a solid pressure group. Many things can be said about P.W. Botha, but he took no nonsense. When I met him in October 88 in Kinshasa, he called for me as I was working in Mobutu Sese Seko's office. He and I went out on the tarmac for half an hour at Njili Airport. He chased Pik Botha and Magtes Malang away, chased them away, and for half an hour we spoke. And I just ended up saying to him, Mr. President, the problems lie in Pretoria, not in Africa. And this is the problem. If you want to live in exclusivity, you will die in exclusivity. Unless you're a vibrant community. I'm not saying assimilate everything. I'm saying you have to live in the present, in the current. And by the grace of God only. The Afrikaners was only cannon fodder. They were only to be manipulated. 1914, the miners' revolt. Black and white miners. What did the government do? They looked after the white miners and they forgot about the black miners. The Afrikaner is a gutless group of people. Yes, gutless. You have the Rolf Meyers and the Karl Gat van Schalkwyks and Leon Wessels. The damage they cause is irreparable. Irreparable. They gambled with the future of this country, black and white. More black people speak Afrikaans than white people speaking a black language. And what people don't understand, while you have Cyril the criminal Ramaphosa, and he is a criminal, they fucked you without a doubt. Blaming the whites for everything. While you have him doing this, he is only setting up the black communities because under his tutelage, the country has gone backwards. It started with Thabo Mbeki. Thabo Mbeki as the British MI6 agent. And this I've discussed with Jacob Zuma at various stages. Remember, Jacob Zuma is not innocent. But when it comes on the scale of issues, Jacob Zuma is the small guy. Jacob Zuma admitted in Parliament, he signed the letter in the arms deal drafted by Thabo Mbeki. And yet, they're going hell for leather for him. As to why he doesn't blow him out of the water, I do not understand. I really do not understand. Where did Jacob Zuma's problems begin? He didn't want to listen to what they told him at Doha. He had to be compliant and do what they wanted. We had the visit of Johan Rupert along with Cyril Ramaphosa to the White House. Johan Rupert, I once held him in high regard. I cannot anymore. Johan Rupert made a remark about the crime in the Western Cape. Out of line, out of place. The crime in the Western Cape is pushed by the ANC government to make the Western Cape ungovernable. That's a fact. Johan Rupert tells us he's building houses for his grandchildren in Graafrenet. That's funny. Because my information says Rupert's children doesn't want to come back to South Africa. They want to stay in the southern part of France along with him because people dump too much on them. Johan Rupert used the Afrikaner to enrich himself fabulously. And I can say this today. I have no doubt that the end of the Rupert dynasty is not far away. The problem is you're dealing with people. And unless people have integrity, not the type you buy with money, unless they have integrity. Yes, people such as Rupert and the Oppenheimers, they are inundated by people looking for assistance. That's one trait of human nature. Everybody wants a little money, in the words of the late Alpheus Mazia, a little money, while sitting with his ass in Parliament and earning a massive salary. The problem is, the Afrikaners are a gutless group of people. They want to conform the whole time. They don't want to stand up and be counted. Stand up and change the world, damn it! Because that is what the world needs. We need people who can do. You talk about leadership. Cyril the criminal Ramaphosa went to Nampo at Bothaville this year. And he stood there with his bodyguards and he spoke about 59 South Africans that went to America, immigrated as refugees. He calls them cowards. Cowards? He's standing there with 10 bodyguards? Who's the real coward? Cyril Ramaphosa is the coward. And all his acolytes standing with him. But not one farmer stood up and said, "Point of order, Mr. President. You're talking about cowards. Why do you need 10 bodyguards? Why do you need 10 bodyguards?" And this simultaneously, while Cyril Ramaphosa's own government published figures that there are 78 people immigrating daily through Oliver Tambo to go abroad. And not just whites, black and white. Black and white. Afrikaners are gutless. They commemorate Blood River, 1836. But you can never commemorate anything in isolation and on an inclusive basis. Look at what happened to the Roman Empire. On their inclusivity, a decadent, immoral society that collapsed under the corruption and the fraud. This country needs people to stand up. Yes, Afrikaans-speaking people. Not just Afrikaans-speaking people speaking English for self-defense. Because when a South African opens his mouth, you know immediately where it comes from. I'm not saying English überall, English is good, it's the best. What I'm saying is use everything to your advantage. The big thing in the Western Cape, is the Freemasonry. And it's all about money. Money, money, money. The world wars were about money in the end. The Boer War was about money. After the Boer War in 1902, Cecil John Rhodes is reported to have travelled with a posse of horsemen over the Free State flats and bought up mineral rights. And the big gold mines in the Free State, that's where it comes from. All about money. Yes, we need money to survive. Everything costs money. You fall ill, you need money. You need money. Even Florence Nightingale, attending to the misery and the squalor in the Boer concentration camps, needed money for medicines, for whatever. And yet, we don't hear ever in the history the British apologizing for the Boer War, for the killing of 26,000 white women and children. Neither do we hear any apology for the killing of 26,000 black women and children in 80 concentration camps. The arrogance of the British are astounding, even until today. Luckily for us, they're sitting on an island. Imagine if they were not on an island. They can stay isolated. They talk about democracy. Democracy is a fuckocracy. There is no other way to put it. Common sense and common decency is what should prevail. Democracy is a fallacy. There, in the Second World War, you had the Cambridge Five, Guy Burgess, McLean, Kim Philby, etc., selling out agents from British and American origin to whoever to be killed. And they call this democracy? Who gave us Marxism? Democracy. Marxism is an incredible system. It's an incredible system. The only problem is it doesn't work that way in practice. It is destined to be abused by the nomenclatura. In the old Soviet Union, 4,000 families. In South Africa, this is what Cyril, the criminal Ramaphosa, and his Impimpi cabinet, this is what they are doing. It's about stealing. They are not putting their names in the annals of history, except putting it there as master criminals. What judgment will be delivered unto them? They are stealing. Johan Rupert, his handler, excuse me, Johan Rupert, his handler, he showed it in a visit to Trump. Intelligence, Afrikaners, there is no leadership. Even the churches are failing. Even the churches are failing. LGBTQ, heaven helps us. America divested from security because of human rights. What human rights? The only right you have is to live a decent life, is to live a prosperous life, to contribute to the future of this world. But it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen because Paul Mashatile says the ANC Integrity Committee have found him innocent on 1.6 billion rand. What's wrong with the picture? South Africa, at one stage, was the second largest importer of Porsche Cayenne motor vehicles after Greece. And then the Greeks want to talk about democracy. Democracy could never be in isolation. It could never be stagnant. But the big thing is, democracy is a tool for evil. What is the solution? Everybody asks me, what are the solutions? I'm racking my brains. What are the solutions? No solution can stand in isolation. No solution can stand as the ultimate. Since the Napoleonic Wars, the Rothschild family have financed every military campaign on both sides. And it happened in the Second World War. And it's always about money. The love of money. And yet, in South Africa, we've got lots of legislation. Act 12 of 2004, Section 34. If you suspect corruption, you must report it. So let's do it again now. Cyril Ramaphosa, you are de facto criminally guilty. Your whole cabinet is de facto criminally guilty. The DA, Helen Zille and her tribe are equally guilty because they are not pushing this narrative under the law of bringing criminal charges. Now, how possible is it to charge the whole country? How possible is it not to charge them? This is what's happening. You drive around and the potholes proliferate. In Tshwane, a cleaner gets paid 12,500 rand a month. In the rest of the country, in the municipalities, they're paid 8,000. Since when are their productivity so high? Afrikaners, you do not deserve to exist. If you want to be an Afrikaner, you can only be an Afrikaans-speaking South African. As a solution, you must be like the yeast in the bread. You must permeate the dough. You must spread the actions. This is the problem. The Afrikaners were living in isolation, calling themselves Afrikaners. There's a difference between Afrikaners in the Cape, Afrikaans speaking in the Cape, and those in the Transvaal. I know because I've lived everywhere. So what is the solution? How do we get ahead? The big thing is that the law has failed this country. Shamila Batoy, what an incompetent, ineptitude. What a total and utter idiot. Being manipulated by Cyril Ramaphosa. Advocate Anthony Brink from Durban complained about Justice Dunstan Malambo, who removed cases from the court rolls on request of Cyril Ramaphosa. Patrick Chauke in Johannesburg, DPP, Directorate Public Prosecutions, removed cases on request of Cyril Ramaphosa. And nothing is being done. People such as Ture Pretorius, advocate at the NPA, Chris McAdam, and many others, they're a blight on humanity. Do you understand what a blight is? Verstaan julle wat skande is? Verstaan Sie? They are a blight. The legal profession is a dastardly profession. They want to tell us about rules. It's man-made rules. They are good people, make no mistake. But they are all compromised. They cannot stand up on their own because there's no leadership. What is the solution? Think about it. Think about it. I will pick it up. I will hear it. Think about it. I can tell you now. By the grace of God, there is a solution. Economic growth is a solution. Thabo Mbeki squandered South Africa's future. Thabo Mbeki destroyed the commando system. That's why we have more than 5,000 farm murders until now. What happened to those farms? In whose hands did it land, ultimately? And then you have these idiots by Johan Kotze from Afgreen saying, no, it's not an issue. People prefer to be treated like mushrooms. Keep them in the dark and feed them bullshit. Because the main thing is, I'm not saying start a revolution. I'm saying start a revolution in your mind. Strengthen your mind. That is where the only resolution can be. And revolution. Do it. Just because a man walks upright doesn't make him a man. Whether he's black, whether he's white, whether his blood is red. Oh. And then you had some idiot saying my blood is blue. But it's just a situation of support for the Blue Bulls. Just because it looks like a man and walks like a man and talks like a man doesn't make it a man. Put it in your pipe and smoke it. I'm not here to condemn you. You're condemning yourself. You condemned yourself. There's a lot to be answered for in this life. May we live and see the outcome of what I've said. And may it be not too far in the future